Jamie from Creations Misfit, and today I am going to do a tutorial to show you how to make these cute little cotton face scrubbies. These cotton rounds are really good for taking off makeup, washing your face. It gives you a nice little exfoliation. And the greatest thing about the cotton is that they're washable. I just throw these right in with my wash when I'm washing clothes, and they come out really nice and clean, and um, I just use them over and over. I've had the same ones for a year and they're not even pulling apart or anything. So they're really durable, great for makeup remover, great for washing the face, and they make your face feel so, so soft. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make these. They're real simple. What you're going to need is some 100% cotton yarn. I tried it with like a cotton blend yarn and it just wasn't the same. So I suggest using 100% cotton. And the one that I'm using today is this cotton yarn from, it's called I Love This Cotton from Hobby Lobby. Here's the label, and it's 100% cotton, and the color is Brights. And it's a size 4 yarn, and I'm going to be using a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. And then you're going to need some scissors and a yarn needle to tie in your ends. So let's go ahead and get started. This uses a bobble stitch, and if you're not familiar with that, it can look a little intimidating when you first start, but it's really simple once you get going. I'll show you how to make it a little bit easier for yourself. But we're going to start with a magic circle. I do have a video for magic circle, and I will link that below in the description box. If you're not used to using a magic circle, you can also chain 4 and make a circle that way. Chain 4 and slip stitch so that it's a circle, and then do your single crochets inside of that. But I would suggest using the magic circle because it pulls really nice and tight and it doesn't leave a hole in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and do mine. I'll show you real quick how I do my magic circle. I'm just going to show you once because if you are used to using one, you probably have your own preference and way to do it. And if not, you can watch my video below if you need a longer description or a longer tutorial. So I take my yarn like this and I put it over 3 fingers, and then I wrap it around and I make an X over the top. I go under this loop here and over this one, and that brings my magic circle to a full magic circle right there. But we're gonna chain 1, so I like to do that on my hand. I just go under here and pull through with my chain, and then I have my magic circle. But feel free to do it however you'd like, and just make sure you chain 1. Okay, so now inside the circle we're going to do 8 single crochets. So go ahead and do your 8 single crochets. I do a weird thing with my thumb. I know somebody was watching me do that, and they said, how the heck do you crochet? But for some reason I picked that up a while ago when I first learned, and I never stopped doing it. So if it looks a little awkward, that's why. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and then you're going to pull your magic circle closed, nice and tight. And sometimes you have to, it will open up a little bit while you're working in it, and that's fine. Just go ahead and pull it closed while you're working, or at the end of the project, you can pull it closed too. All right, so now I was talking, I just want to make sure that I have the correct amount of stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's my 8th. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and slip stitch into your very first stitch, the 8th one there. Do a slip stitch. And there's your magic circle, and then we're going to chain 1 to close it up. Okay. And like I said, it might look like there's a little hole, but it's no worries. It will close up. I'll show you, like these other ones that I did, there's no hole in the middle at all. It closes up real nice. Okay, so from here, we're going to do a bobble stitch. If you're not familiar with a bobble stitch, they can look a little bit hard when you first start, and it feels really difficult to pull through all the strands on your hook, but the trick is to just leave a lot of tension, a lot of loose tension, so that you can get through it. And I'll show you how to do that. So for a bobble stitch, what we do is we yarn over and go in the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and we do that 4 times. So you're going to go into your first stitch here, not the stitch where you made your chain 1. I'm going to the next stitch, if you can see it. I have the camera in front of me, so I can't really tell if this is on camera. I hope it is and it's not blurry. All right, so we're gonna yarn over and go to this first single crochet, yarn over and pull up a loop. And you're gonna want to do this pretty loosely because you're gonna have to do it a few times and you're gonna have to pull through all 9 loops on your hook. Okay, so that's 1. We're gonna do it again. Yarn over, go into that same single crochet, yarn over, and pull up another loop. Now that's 2 times. We're gonna do it again. Yarn over, go into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and here's where it can get kind of tight, so make sure you're feeding yourself enough yarn to get through. One more time. Yarn over, go into the same stitch, yarn over, and pull up a loop, and you should have 9 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And here we're going to yarn over and pull through all 9. And like I said, sometimes it can feel pretty tight to get through it, but after you do a whole bunch of them, it gets really simple and you can just do it quickly. Of course, now mine's a little bit tight because I'm doing a tutorial, but they really do work out quick. And I made a full hat of bobbles, like one of my very first hats, and I think it took me like 12 hours to do it because it was so tight. I thought it was never going to end. But then I made the same hat in about an hour and a half, not too long afterward. All right, so after each bobble, we're going to chain 1 to close it. Okay, so that's your first one. We're going to go around and do a bobble stitch in each of the 8 single crochets. So we've done one here. We're going to go to our next. So yarn over, go into this next single crochet, pull up a loop, nice and loose, yarn over again, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, go into the same stitch, pull up a loop, and for our 4th time, yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Okay, 9 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through all 9. See how simple and smooth that one was? Because I pulled up really nice and tight. Okay, and then close it with a chain. All right, let's go into the next, our 3rd bobble, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull up your last loop. Yarn over and pull through all 9, and then close it with your chain. I really hope this is showing up on the camera. I've just started doing videos this week, tutorial videos, so I'm still learning as I go, and I have the camera in front of me, so I can't see anything. If anybody has any suggestions for a better setup, but I made like 12 videos, or 12 versions of the same video the first day, and they were all upside down because I tried to put the camera over here on top of my work, and it just wasn't working. Anywho, let's move on. We've done 3, so we're going to do 8 all together. Let's go into our 4th, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, and 4th time, yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull through all 9, and close it with your chain. So go ahead and finish your last 4, and I will meet you at the end. Okay, so now we've done our 8 bobbles, and you can count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And make sure that you do your chain 1 at the end of your last one so that it closes up. Okay, and then we're going to slip stitch into our chain right here, not the top of the, hopefully you can see that, not the top of this bobble, but we're going to go into this chain right here and do our slip stitch to close the round. Okay, and then we're going to chain one. Oops, chain one. Okay, so now that you know how to do the bobble, we're going to do the same thing this round, but we're going to do 2 bobble stitches in the top of each of the previous bobble stitch. So there's a chain in between each. As you know, we chained 1 after each one, but you're not going to go into those chain spaces. See, like here, here, here. You're not going to go into those. You're going to go into the very top of the bobble. It can feel a little tight, but it will be fine. So our first bobble stitch is right here, and you're going to go into it and do your bobble stitch, and then we're going to do one more into that one. So yarn over, go into the very top, yarn over, pull up a loop, make sure to do it loose, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 and 4, pull through all 9, and then close it with your chain. We're going to close them all with a chain still. So now we're going to go back into that same stitch right there on top of the bobble below and do one more bobble stitch. So yarn over and go in, pull up your loop, 2, 3, and 4. Yarn over, pull through all 9, and close it with a chain. Okay, now onto the next one. If you think I'm going too slow, just go ahead and finish this round out by yourself. You're going to put 2 bobbles in the top of each. And so you can kind of fast forward through or work at your own pace. If I'm going too fast, then you can slow it down, rewatch it, rewind it, or put it on pause while you work. But I'll do a couple more together and then I'll speed mine up to the end. All right, so now we're not going to go into this chain space here. We're just going to leave it. And don't worry, when you, especially after the very first time you wash these, they come, the cotton, because cotton shrinks a little bit, it comes together really nicely. So there will be no holes in here at all. And so it kind of looks like there's a hole there now, but there won't be. So don't worry about that. So we're going to skip this chain space and go into the top of the next bobble and do our 2 bobble stitches. So yarn over, go into the top, pull up a loop, 2, 3, and 4, close it with a chain, and then go back into that same stitch and do one more bobble. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it looks like I went into the chain space. Yeah, sometimes it's kind of hard to tell because there's not a lot of space in there. So sorry about that. I'm going to go back. Make sure I'm going into the right spot. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I also have this camera in front of my face, so I have one eye closed as I'm doing this. Things we do for our craft. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's try that one more time. By this point, I'm sure you can just do it on your own anyways, but sometimes people like to go along with you, so I apologize. Okay. All right, so we have 4 done. You're going to have a total of 16 bobbles at the end of this round. So go ahead and finish up your round, 2 in the top of each, and then I'll meet you back here as soon as I'm done finishing mine up. up all my bobbles, and if you'd like to count yours, there should be 24, or I'm sorry, there should be 16, and I already counted mine off camera, so make sure on the top of that last bobble that you do a chain 1. All right, so this is where we're at, and we're going to slip stitch to this chain here, not on top of the first bobble stitch, but to the chain right before it. Go ahead and slip stitch there to close your round, and then chain 1. Okay, and we're on our last row now, and this one's really simple. We're just going to do 1 single crochet all the way around in each stitch. So your first one's going to go into the top of this bobble, and then the next one is going to go in between the 2 bobbles. Hold on, let me show you here. Go ahead and do your first one into the top here, top of this bobble, single crochet, and then after that you're going to go into the chain 1 space in between and do a single crochet there. Okay, and then your next one's going to go into the top of the bobble again, single crochet, that's 3, and then you're going to go into the chain space in between, 4. And like I said, it's going to look like there's some holes in there now, but it will close up. It's not going to be holy at all. Okay, so that's 4. We're going to go to the top of the bobble, 5, and then into the chain space in between, 6. And just keep doing that all the way around. You're going to have a total of 32 stitches at the end of this round, which is the last round. So go ahead and finish yours up, and I will meet. Okay, so you should have 32 single crochets, and then you're just going to go ahead and slip stitch to the first over here, and you're all finished. And then you can cut your yarn, leave kind of a long piece so that you can weave in your ends, and I always just do a chain and pull it through to tighten it. And then from there, you're just going to weave in your ends, and you're all finished. I'm sure you probably all know how to weave in your ends. This is how I do it. I just use the needle, and I kind of go in a few places up and down or side to side just to make sure it gets nice and sturdy, especially because this is going to be washed quite often. So you want to make sure that it gets dug in there pretty well. I have no rhyme or reason to where I go. I just kind of go in different directions a few times. And then I make a little knot to secure it. Then I cut my end and do the same for the middle. And there you have it, your cotton round. I love this yarn. It's so pretty and it stripes so nicely. Colors are really bright and gorgeous. So there's your cotton rounds, and like I said, you can just put them in the wash and with your clothes, wash them like you normally would with detergent, and they turn out really nice. I mean, the ones that I've been using for a year almost still look exactly like this, so they're just a little bit tighter. Like I said, there's no holes in between or anything like that. Oh, and if you have a hole in the middle here, just pull that string and it will close it up before you tie in your end. So that's it, and I hope that I was helpful. If I was, it would be great if you could like this video and subscribe if you'd like to see more. If you want to see me do any other specific tutorials, I plan on putting up quite a few different patterns and things like that. Right now I have some beginner videos up, but I just started a couple days ago. So if there's anything specific you'd like to see, please put it in the comments below, or if you have any suggestions or any feedback for me that's respectful, please put that in the comments below as well. And thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.